Chapter 28. The night is still young when we make it back to our dorm. Wine is flowing freely. People in the car indulge, kind of celebrating. Steve letting the gang members know who's boss. When the devil's drink is in abundance, he seems to show up to pour the wine himself and mix his violence in. Dave, a lame from Rhode Island, has had too much to drink. He is standing on the top tier of our housing unit, blatantly calling people niggers. His drunkenness has clouded his rational thinking. Dave is oblivious to the fact that he has just signed a contract authorizing a brutal assault on his person. Throwing blatant racial epithets at unsuspecting victims jeopardizes everyone's safety. The problem must be dealt with immediately. Black prisoners are looking up at Dave, fangs dripping saliva, thirsty for fresh meat. The blacks respect Adam. Even without words being said, they know punishment is coming. Steve quickly ushers Dave into his cell, soothing him with kind words to calm him down in his drunken stupor. He does not recognize Steve's boiling anger or what his impending future holds. After small talk between Steve and Adam, they call Frank, me, and another guy named Coffee into Dennis's cell. "Listen, I need you three. You guys are on deck. It's time now." Frank responds, "What do you want us to do? You can stab him or lock him. It's up to you guys. But you gotta fuck him up. If not, we're gonna have a race riot in here." I speak immediately to head off any dumb assertions that we should stab Dave. "I'm not stabbing him, Adam. I'll just go in there and knock his ass out," I say. Coffee, like me, doesn't want to be involved in stabbing anyone. He nods his head. "He has to get smashed. These blacks want to see blood," Adam responds. "Not a problem, bro. We got it," Coffee exclaims in an excited voice. Steve wants an example set, so when the CO walks out for the recreation move, go in there and get that son of a bitch. "All right," I respond. Frank and Jimmy are going to hold the door. Keep him in his room until then. Chad, you and Coffee are going in. Frank, you're the backup, kid. The plan is laid out. My nerves are jumping. I am anxious to unleash the fury bottled up inside me. Pacing back and forth, I wait for the recreation call. My black leather workout gloves slide over my hands. Dave is a dope fiend. Like so many others, he intravenously injects the poison. I want to avoid his blood getting on my hands. "Recreation move, let's go," the guard yells out as he exits the unit. My arms are instantly heavy. My heart races and my palms begin to sweat under the leather. Coffee follows behind me as we enter Dave's chamber. "Dave, my friend, what's up with your language? You know the nigger word," I yell. "Man, fuck them nig." Before he can finish the word, I hit him dead center in his mouth. Blood gushes from his busted lips and he stumbles backwards into the lockers with a loud, "Oh!" I unleash a flurry of punches until he falls to the floor. Coffee is kicking Dave in the face. I hold Dave on the ground with one hand while punching him in the back and the ribs with the other. Screams for help cannot save him. "Stop! I'm sorry! That's it! That's enough!" he cries out. "No, this is what you wanted when you were calling people niggers, punk." I hollow out as one punch after another connects. "Don't kill me, bro. I got kids, man." "Fuck you and your kids," Coffee barks back. Sometime later, I come out of my anger trance. Chest heaving, breath strained, I give Coffee the look. Dave has had enough. Blood is on my shirt, gloves, and on the locker. With one hand on the locker, Dave lifts himself from the cold floor. His face is a bloody mess. "Get the fuck out of here, you piece of shit. You could have got us all killed," I say before spitting in his face. Frank and Jimmy step aside as Dave escapes, running full force towards the guard's office. Handing my gloves to Jimmy, my eyes connect with Steve's from across the room. He gives me a wink and a nod, as if he's praising me for a job well done. Little does he know that given the opportunity, he would be punished in the same way, perhaps worse. The assault on Dave was done simply to avoid the white prisoners from being massacred by the blacks. The bone I would like to pick with Steve is personal. Motivated by what he is doing to all of us, hiding my true feelings, I nod back. Once at the bottom of the stairs, Dave stops to look up at us. He screams out in anger, "Look at what you did to me, you white bitches! Look at me!" He shouts this with defeat and shame in his voice. He looks like Roberto Duran in the No Mas fight with Sugar Ray Leonard. One eye swollen shut, lips busted, his face decorated with speed knots, and his broken nose dripping like a faucet. He starts to yell out again. Frank appears out of nowhere and delivers a football kick to Dave's ass. As the guard exits his office, Dave begins to run. Frank latches onto his shirt, striking him in the back. By now, the deuces are hit. In comes the goon squad to pin Frank to the wall. Once pinned down, the cops cuff him and haul him off to SHU. He had to take one for the team. Sometimes being the backup guy costs more. When Dave started yelling, Adam gave Frank the order to attack. That cost him a few days in the shoe. In this hellhole, that's a small price to pay for the good of the car. We are locked in our cells for body searches. The cops go from cell to cell requiring everyone to take their shirts off. They're searching for marks, stab wounds, or scratches. Any wounds on a person gives guards the authority to put people in the shoe for an investigation. We have already flushed my blood-stained shirt down the toilet. I look out the window to see Coffee being led away in cuffs. He failed the body inspection test. Dave scratched Coffee's arm in the scuffle. Adam, am I straight? Do I got any marks? I ask, hoping the answer is no. Take your shirt off, you scary motherfucker. I ain't scared, just not trying to go to the shoe. You're good. Your hand is a little bit swollen. Just flip your hands over quick. I'll start talking to the cops to get their attention on me. Off your hands. Luck has found me. We are checked. I slide through the inspection. Adam engages the inspectors in conversation. About 6'4", 275 pounds, Adam's presence alone grabs people's attention. I will not be joining Frank and Coffee this evening. In a sick way, it felt good to finally release my pent-up anger. Putting work in for a car I dislike so much fuels my disgust. Reasoning with myself, I conclude it was okay to do this to avoid any racial tension. My safe existence means I must go through the motions. The reality is we prisoners are dropped into a ready-made, built-in dynamic that leads to hatred for the people around us. Rather than coming together for good, we alienate each other, all while pretending we have a brotherhood in place. After the roundup, they unlock our doors again. Pats on the back for a job well done come in droves. Praise from guys in the car, as well as from some of the black convicts. In a normal society, it would be abnormal to be applauded for such brutality. In prison, these actions are worthy of praise. Like a chameleon, I am blending in with the rest of the fakers. I am transforming into one of them, a cold-hearted prisoner. My subconscious mind is telling me not to succumb to my environment, but I am knocking on the door, while fighting the beast, the prison beast that destroys young men like me. But really, my eyes are set on Steve. Chapter 29. Blowing up like you thought I would. Call the crib, same number, same hood. It's all good. I sing my old school theme song while I add baking soda to the Pyrex. Like a chemist, I turn powder into crack, and like a magician, crack into cash. Who would have ever thought I would be using a microwave to concoct my new nefarious product? Why you always singing that same shit? My best friend E asks. 'Cause I like it, dog. That shit's old, son. Man, do you think I care? I say, pulling the Pyrex from the microwave. I drop ice cubes in the boiling water. The cocaine hardens into crack. I don't like this next part. Bagging up the product for street sales. With 4 crack houses pumping high volume, I know me and E will be at the table for hours. Look, you put the bags together, E. I'll bag up the 8 balls. Must be nice to be the boss, he says sarcastically. Like scores of drug addicts, I have become addicted to the life, the power that comes with being, as E puts it, the boss. We were doomed before we were born, relegated to parents who are lifelong ghost town residents, never realizing that my surroundings would dictate my future. Violence, poverty, abuse, and addiction, all too much to overcome. Each bag I fill with crack might as well be a day in prison. I have filled many bags, never thinking about Big Sandy. Hell, I never heard of the place. How could I think about it? Fate knows Big Sandy. Chad does not. One day I will. Blowing up like you thought I would. You singing the same line, dog. Yeah, 'cause we're blowing up, B. Sit back, relax. We counting double-digit thousand stacks. E laughs at me and we finish packaging our neighborhood's desires.